gradient is how steep something is. So it can be referring to a hill or a road, how steep a road is, or in maths it can be talking about how steep a line is. So let's just imagine that there's a little person who has to walk along each of these roads. This person has to walk along a flat road. This one's got a slight incline, so this person's going up a medium amount of steepness. And then this one is the steepest out of the three. So what that means is this would have the largest gradient and this would have the smallest gradient, and this one would be somewhere in the middle. Now, to calculate gradient, the easiest way is to write it as a fraction, and the fraction is the vertical distance over the horizontal distance. So if we look at this third example up at the top, or this third slope, the vertical distance is how far up the person has travelled, and the horizontal distance is how far along the person has travelled. So we're going to do a quick example using this one, just counting the boxes. So if we count the horizontal distance, if we're just counting the boxes, there are 3 boxes along the way. And if we count the vertical distance, which is the boxes up the way, there are 4. So our gradient is the vertical distance over the horizontal distance. So our gradient is 4 over 3. And that's it. Now, instead of writing out vertical distance and horizontal distance each time, we can just write v over h. And instead of writing the word gradient, we write the letter m. So in maths, m means gradient. So for this example up here, we would write m equals 4 over 3. Now let's do it for the middle one. So first of all, let's count our horizontal distance. How many boxes? 1, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 7 along the way, and 2 for the vertical distance, 2 up and down the way. And we're going to be doing vertical over horizontal. So vertical is the up the way one. So we're going to be writing m equals for the gradient, and it's going to be 2 over 7. Now this first one, the horizontal distance, he has travelled 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 boxes, but he's not travelled up anything. So if we were to write that as a fraction, it would be 0, because he's not travelled up the way, 0 over 5. And that just means 0 divided by 5, and 0 divided by 5 is 0. So that means the gradient of a flat line is 0, because it's not steep in any way. So we should see that these numbers get bigger as the steeper they get. So this one's 0, this one's 2/7, and this one is 4/3, or another way of writing that is 1 1/3. So they are definitely getting bigger each time. Now, one thing you could be asked to do with gradient is, instead of writing it as a fraction, you could be asked to write it as a decimal. So if that's the case, work out the fraction first. So with this one, it's 8 up the way and 80 along the way. So we would write our formula first. So m equals v over h. V is the up and down the way one, and h is the along the way one. So we're going to write 8 over 80. And then if we wanted to change it into a decimal, all we do is the top divided by the bottom. So 8 divided by 80, which is 0.1. So you would use a calculator for that if you were trying to turn it into a decimal.